So you don't expect me as a 40-year-old woman to go for a 90-year-old guy because
it's just evolving.
It's just evolving. It's just starting.
But something is coming to my mind.
Okay.
And that is, you see, these older men.
Yeah.
You know, like you see a man of 50-something, you know, dating a girl of 18 and all that. Okay. And what is wrong with women dating, you know, 19-year-old boys and all that?
So that's double standard.
Welcome to Sassy and Real on Click Naija online channel. My name is Folashade Asmau. This is a space where we relax, reflect and keep it real on issues affecting women. So I'm not alone here. I have beautiful co-hosts here with me, all glammed up, all ready to just share their views on our topic today. So I have with me here
Yinka
and also
Asmau.
So please follow us on all our socials. That's on Facebook and YouTube at Click Naija, and on X and Instagram at Click Naija1. So now the topic that we're going to talk about today, first of all, I want to paint a scenario. Imagine you are 42 as a woman, and you are a woman who is glowing, who is secure, who is doing great in her career, and a 29-year-old guy walks in confident, you know, attentive, charming, asking you for a date. Would you consider it? Would you take him seriously or brush him off like what am I doing with this? You know, what would be your response?
Okay, for the context in which you've painted is asking you out. It's not like you're dating yet. So before I would actually give in to a date, I need to know if you're a critical thinker. That means we've been talking over time. I can actually evaluate you if you're a critical thinker, if you're very matured in
what if you've not been talking before?
That's what I'm saying now. You don't just ask people on a date. You must have had conversations around things before they can opt to ask you for a date. You can't just walk up to a lady and say, oh, I'd like to take you out. It doesn't work that way.
He likes you. He saw you. He saw the looks. He saw the...
Something must have preempted that. You must have had conversations. Just maybe you met somewhere and you just got talking. Then he's interested in you and he's asking you for a date. I cannot walk up to you and just ask you for a date. It doesn't work that way. So I'm analyzing you if you are matured. When it comes to you thinking faculty, I'm analyzing you if you're an emotional thinker or you, what did I say the other time?
Is it mature?
Yes, emotionally you're matured. What do I mean by this? Sometimes when you talk, you can actually say, or you know, have an idea who a person is from the first conversation. So I know all of this if you're matured, if you're financially stable, independent and prudent. Some people just want to lavish. At first sight, you can see a lavish spender. You can tell from a first, you know, conversation. You want to impress me and you're ordering for things you know you can afford yourself. I want to know all of that. I see all of that. Then just maybe I can give in to a date.
Okay, so Asmau, what's your take on this?
When she was talking, what I think is women are money sharp, but looking at it, I think first what I would tend to look at is the approach.
Okay,
yes. The approach. Then I'm somebody that is very concerned when it comes to looks.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So your approach, your looks, and trust me, you need to really look good and smell good.
So apart from the superficial aspect of it,
So I'm interested in that approach. What do you mean by approach? Could you please?
Okay, there is a way a man walk up to a lady and the first thing he says, the way he says it, speaks a lot of value.
Volume,
Okay.
So yes, the approach for me, you can't just see me and say, fine girl.
No.
You get. So that alone is a step to know if you really matured. because
So emotional intelligence.
Yes,
that's what you're talking
emotional
about.
intelligence.
And that's what I said earlier. I want to know if you're emotionally intelligent, if you're a critical thinker, if you're smart upstairs. You can't just come and just say hello. Come on.
Okay, so
don't give us the line.
So let me say, I saw a movie recently, where a guy was going for to do like he was going for his youth service, and it was to travel to a particular place. So the mother called her friend who stays in that place, let my son come and stay with you, for his youth service and all that for a year. So while the guy was staying with the woman, they developed affection for each other, because the woman's real boyfriend was always beating her and all that. So this guy was like a soft landing, this thing for her, who will come and console her and this and that. So they started dating, and the mother got to know, and she went haywire, like, my son, I kept him in your care and all that. You are 24, he's 24, for God's sake, and you are this and you are that. And so where do you draw the line?
No, let me address that issue. Now, she has a boyfriend that has been mistreating her before now.
Yeah.
So this boy comes in and shows her affection, which she's not getting from her boyfriend. So he's being affectionate to you, he's caring towards you, then you develop feelings. Now let's be sure if this is actually a genuine feeling, or you just want this boy to be a rebound because you're not having what you want in your relationship and you see it in this boy. So let's analyze this very well. Are you sure you're really having feelings genuinely for the boy, or you are taking him because of all the things? I feel like you're using him now because you see him more as a rebound. What you want in your guy is not there, so you tilt towards the boy to get the pleasure that you're asking for. So it's like you're using this guy. I might be wrong, but that's the way I'm saying
so
it.
The question that really readily comes to mind is, where do you draw the line as a woman? What is the age, the difference, the gap? Like is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 10? Where do you draw the line as a woman? Okay,
talking about drawing the line, it doesn't have to do with the age bracket or anything. If I am a 40-year-old woman, I don't expect to go and date a guy that is like 19. I'm not being fair to that person.
Yes.
So you look at the space, the maturity. If this guy, if I'm 40 and him is like 27, 35, I know he's gone through
like
a lot.
Yes,
not really the difference. I'm not talking about 5 years or 10 years now. If I'm 40,
so you're talking about someone who's experienced and seen through life.
Yeah, seen through life. Yes, then I know I'm being fair because the person in question have a choice to make. Is mature enough to know what he wants. He's been through life. He's seen things. He knows what he's doing. So you don't expect me as a 40-year-old woman to go for a 90-year-old guy because
he's just evolving.
He's just evolving. He's just starting.
But something is coming to my mind.
Okay.
And that is, you see, these older men.
Yeah.
Like you see a man of 50-something, dating a girl of 18 and all that.
Okay.
And what is wrong with women dating, 19-year-old boys and all that?
So that's double standard.
I know, but it's like double standard. When you're telling a woman you can't do this, but men can do it. Look at Shadi Okoya, for example, and her husband. She was 21 when she met her husband, and they are doing well. So what is wrong with a woman dating a younger guy?
How old was he when the wife was 21?
I think it was 58.
No, the age difference was a lot.
A bit,
Matter of fact, she was, if I'm not mistaken, she was the daughter's friend.
Yes.
So you could tell the age margin. But that's not the case now. They are happily married. They celebrated their, 25th or something, wedding anniversary. So you could tell that they're thriving, they're enjoying your marriage. It's not our business. But now you're asking that for you, where do you draw the line? I keep telling people, age is but a number. You could be matured in age, but you're not matured mentally, you're not matured physically, you're not matured psychologically, you're not matured emotionally, financially you're not matured. So why would I want to end up with you when there's a younger guy who has all of these characteristics, but he's just young, it's just age. But
Okay,
you can even
what if he has all the characteristics? Let's look at this age disparity.
Okay.
You know, he has all the characteristics,
Okay.
but the age difference is so
Wide
apart.
So I'm going to
Would
speak
you
for
go
myself.
for that?
So let me speak for myself. I would like to personalize it so I don't speak for people. I personally, I think if I were to be single and I'm to, consider a younger person, the age difference would be, let's say, I could manage 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Because I know I can deal with that. But there are some other persons who would go for age gaps between 20, 15 years. Now, what matters is this: when you're going into such relationships, you need to bear in mind that you're not going in as his elder sister, you're not going in as his mom, you're not going in as his aunt. Now you are par with each other. You are now, it's a partnership. Now you're going in as a friend, as a partner, as everything to each other. So when he speaks to you in a certain way, you don't want to pick offense.
Yes.
Why? Because you are now one. You are in a relationship. You cannot say, "Oh, I'm older than you." That if you know you're going to do that, please, my sister, avoid such relationship.
Avoid.
You don't complicate things.
Let me come
Let
me come in from the angle of, a guy, agrees to, date an older woman, and he, at some point, he felt that the only way he could establish his leadership in the relationship is to become overbearing, is to become, kind of so firm in such a way that it becomes a negative, vibe between the two of them. That, okay, when I'm talking to her, there's a way I need to make my voice to sound so that she will know that I'm the one who wears the trouser in this relationship. How do you address such situation? Because the man is becoming insecure because she's older. He always has that back of his mind that this woman is older and there's a way I need to act in order to show her that I am the woman in this relationship. I'm the man, sorry.
I think before you go into a relationship, there must have been times you maybe you must have gone on dates and everything. You must have had conversations about distance. So for example, I've dated someone that was like a little bit younger than myself.
Okay.
And I made him, whenever I'm around him, I made him feel like we are equals. I even called him Papi. So he feels like, okay, it's my daddy. Okay. So I call him, you're my daddy.
Yes.
So that makes him feel relaxed and sees me like his baby. So he calls me baby. Okay. I know I'm older than him. He knows I'm older than him, but we understand that. So in situations like this, there has to be an understanding. Yes, communication. You need to know someone well. When I mean well, so well, before you start dating this person. You need to know how intelligent the person is. You need to know how mature the person is. You need to know what the person likes to do and what the person doesn't like to do. So you need to have an understanding and you need to communicate more.
Okay, so Shade, let me quickly address that, please permit. You said that he's thinking in his head, that I need to speak in a certain way so that for some reason she could respect me. I need to be firm. You can be firm but not aggressive. Yeah. You can be firm and not insultive. You can be firm and not be a tyrant.
And still be caring.
You can be firm and be affectionate. So in all that you said, you can be firm but not subjugate your wife or your girlfriend into being a puppet under you. The reason why you ventured into the relationship in the first instance is you knew what you wanted. You felt something for her, the affection. So let's be on that page. Don't see it as, oh, she's not my age mate, I need to come and see her. No, don't do that. It won't even work. Because a lot of times men that do that, they end up losing that woman. Because the lady would not be able to cope. You want to make her a shadow of herself. So when she's around you, there's a way she comports herself.
She's walking
you're
on
killing her spirit.
Yes.
You're killing her morale already. So if you want to be respected, I tell people respect is earned. When you give it, you get it in return.
Yes.
You're talking about a lady being submissive to you. But do you know that there's something that precedes that submission? You have to give yourself. You have to give all of you for a lady to be submissive to you. So if you're giving all of yourself and you're loving on me, it's just common sense.
Yes, I think when there is understanding and communication, yeah,
it's just
you don't even need to
sense.
force these things.
You don't force it. Respect is earned.
Like it happens, like naturally. So.
Okay, so let's talk about how you measure maturity in a guy before you agree to date a guy. How do you measure maturity in a guy?
Okay, this is a tough one. You know, at times people don't really show who they are.
True.
Yes, especially when it comes to dating, they tend to hide those negative aspects of themselves.
Yeah.
But no matter what it is, as a woman, you can always sense that thing. The red flags are there. Just that most times we women will tend to ignore it. Once we're in love, we will just forget to say red flags stay. So I'm just saying, when you look at this thing, when a man, as a woman, when a man is genuinely talking to you, saying something, and you look at the person, you can tell. Trust me, our instincts tells us, but it's just that we tend to ignore it.
Okay, so Yinka, how do you measure maturity in a guy?
So like I told you, every time I meet someone, the first conversation I'm having about with you, it just must be intellectual. I don't know for other people, when I'm having conversations with people, the first time I see you, I can actually tell who you really are. A little.
Yeah.
You have to be an intellect. That works for me, 100. When you're speaking, I just want to know you're matured. I want to see the way you deliver your speeches. I want to see how careful you pick your lines and your words. You're not loose with words. You're not saying things that you don't mean. You're not saying things that... Do you understand? I just look at the details. So when I see all of that, I'm sold. Okay. Then when I now see what crowns it up, for some reason, if you see someone and you know someone who is caring, the person who don't even know they're doing it, subconsciously, you could tell that this person is caring.
Yes.
So you win me over with all of that. So first conversations gives you in. I'm talking to you, I'm evaluating your mental capability, you're speaking, you have to be an intellect, you're not going out of line, you're not saying what you shouldn't say. Come on, I'm game.
Okay, but do you know that some intellectuals can be very, very tough? Okay, so how do I personally, if I'm to, add my own bit to this is how I measure maturity in a guy is that I introduce a little bit of pressure.
Oh, okay.
You understand? You introduce a little bit of pressure, do something, Lord, try and see how he reacts in anger.
Okay.
Do something to just mess his mind up, kind of like he will just bring out the real.
Okay.
From me,
so I like that.
I think I like to be myself.
I like that.
I want you to see me the way I am. So if you're not comfortable with it,
no, Shadi, I'm interested in this. So you meet a guy now, you meet him, you're having a conversation, he's an intellect, he's giving you the vibes that you want. Let me now test this guy's patience. It's not this one that is temperamental, we beat him with man at home. Let's just blast more water.
Let's just do something.
Let's just blast more water.
But it will shock you. Some of them will still pretend and act nice.
No, under pressure,
Under pressure.
When you are just acting out of character, you just be like, why is this lady doing this? And you don't she know that I am this and that, it's just like my way
of a restaurant and you start eating.
I think it's an individual thing. At times you want to piss the person off, not knowing that what you're doing at that moment.
I see reasons when it comes to that pressure. I think it's necessary to actually tell about someone's temperament, how they are able to manage pressure, without being, you were not expecting something and it just happens. How do you handle such situations? You don't throw yourself out and you just lose guard and you start throwing tantrums.
My sisters, let me tell you, guys, men are actors. They are actors.
Are you listening? Take it from the professionals.
Because in James Bond, after you got into the relationship, that's when you see the real.
Well, ladies have too,
Ladies also act.
Ladies start pretending.
All right,
Yeah,
so
let's be
I
fair.
think we should just call it a wrap here on this edition of Sassy and Real. I really had a good time, a really beautiful time, laughing and all whatnot. But let's be honest, Queens. You know, if he's calling you mommy, even as a joke, please, that's a red flag. That is a red flag. You know, you can't come and be calling me mommy when we are dating.
They say mommy.
But if we are talking about age, you know, when there is age, a bit of age gap between us, I won't feel comfortable.
Yes.
Sweetheart, please call me mommy. Call me mommy.
Like Zaddy now. Like Zaddy
If I can call you,
Mommy and that's a period.
if I can call you baby, please call me mommy.
Did you hear that, Shade?
Okay.
Mommy.
Thank you so much for spending time with us on Sassy and Real. I am Fola with my amazing co-host
Asmau
and
Yinka and Rabbi.
don't forget, as a woman, keep your standards so high and your heels even higher. Join us next time with the same energy, the same unapologetic, honest and real vibe, only on Click Naija online channel. Please follow us on all our socials and tell us in the comment section, would you date a younger man? Why or why not? Thank you so much and cheers.
Bye.